hello, and welcome to another episode of the Royal Reset Podcast. Your Majesty, hello! I am so happy and excited that you are here. I got a new mic. Let me know if the green light goes off because I got a backup. Hopefully, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Good. Okay. So hopefully this new mic works out great, awesome, perfect, beautiful. I look at you, Your Majesty. You're looking good, Queen. Yes, I see you. I see you. Tell me, Your Majesty, how are you feeling today? That's so good to hear. I am so glad that you're here with me today, Your Majesty. I am doing great, fabulous, fantastic, ready for our conversation today. So go ahead, prop me up in your kitchen, in your living room, in your dining room, wherever it is that you need to do your chores today to get yourself reset for the week. If you're meal prepping, if you're doing laundry, if you're just vacuuming, I'm here, Queen. Let's chat. Let's chat. First and foremost, let's do a check in. Last week, you told me about your goals for last week. I want to know what worked. Were there setbacks? Were there pivots that needed to be made? I want to know what goals of yours you have accomplished and go. Okay, now. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all, Your Majesty. I see you. I see you. Last week, we spoke about Think and Grow Rich and how it translates with Arya Stark and Game of Thrones. Now, did you choose one of those 5 ways to start controlling your mind? And have you implemented it, Your Majesty? Tell the truth. That's what I like to hear. That is what I like to hear, Your Majesty. Even if you have not reached your goals this week, I want you to know that you are still magnificent. You are still powerful and you still have purpose. The fact that you're out here working towards your goals puts you ahead of the rest because too many people are just complacent in their unhappiness, complacent, living a life that was pushed upon them by their parents or by their significant other or by their friends or their circumstances. You are having none of that. You are a boss. And I am so, so, so proud of you for working towards your goals this week, Your Majesty. Slay. Yes. Okay. As far as me, how did my week go? As you know, last week I finished 75 hard, right? And as soon as I clicked finished on day 75 on the app, it was like bling bling. Okay, now you're ready for phase one. But so, yes, that is what I'm doing right now. I am in phase one of the 75 hard program, day 9. Yes, today is day 9. And it's going well. However, these cold showers, I would like to talk to whoever said that cold showers was supposed to be helpful because I think they're lying. I would like to disagree. I don't think cold showers are necessary. I hate it with a passion. But what can I do? I'm still doing them, I guess. Yeah, I need to. This is what I need to do, and I keep saying I'm gonna do this, but I haven't done it yet. I need to look up the benefits. What are the benefits of me shocking my body awake every single morning? Huh? Hmm. Can anybody tell me why I should be taking cold showers every day? I have to take a 5 minute cold shower every day, and by the time the 5 minutes is up, I'm so used to it already that I don't never switch it to warm because then I feel like my body's gonna be super shocked. So like I'm just annoyed. Annoyed. So other than that, I've read 2.5 books this week. Yes, yes, yes. We're getting rolling on our goal. Our goal is to read 115 books this year. I'm at like 23, 24. So yeah, not too bad. Still way behind. But again, around the summertime is when I start to pick up and start to, average 3, 4, 5, 6 books a week. So just because we at 23 don't mean we're not going to reach 115. Okay. Don't look at me like that. We gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna surpass the goal. Because remember, last year's goal was 105 books and we did 117. Okay. Okay. Don't lose hope in me. Don't lose faith in me. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. The days are longer. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about what's entertaining me this week. What is entertaining me this week? I am reading Transfusion. So good. So juicy. What is Transfusion? Okay. It is the sequel series to a series called Afterlife, which is by Stephanie Hudson. Both series are 12 books each. So I'm in for a long haul, okay? A long haul. The first series, Afterlife, is literally the whole thing, really, is like a darker, more grown up goth, like super goth version of Twilight, okay? But ain't no sparkles. It's so good. It's so good. Hear me out. Hear me out. The Edward in this situation is not a vampire. He is a half demon, half angel, the king of the supernatural world. Okay, and the Jacob in this situation is the king of the vampires. He is the one who created all vampires. Yes. But again, don't none of them sparkle, okay? None of them sparkle. And like the same tension and like craziness of Twilight, but grown. It's the grown and sexy version, okay? And it's goth. It's goth as all get out. That's all I can tell you without giving it away. But it's so good. So I started Afterlife 2 years ago. And when I got to book 11, I slowed down because I did not want to finish the series. It was so good. It's like Game of Thrones because 12 books, each book at least 400 pages. There's so much happening. So much happening. So many different plot points. The Bella in this situation gets kidnapped 15, 16, 17 times. The tension between her and the Edward, her and the Jacob, back and forth, back and forth. Oh, oh, oh. And then there's other people that fall in love with her, like, and they're all just fine, all just delicious. All of them can get it. Oh, yes. Love the series. And so Edward and Bella ended up together in Afterlife. But now I'm in the Transfusion, which is the sequel series. I'm on book 4 of that so far. And this is where Jacob and Renesmee get together. It's not as weird though, because Renesmee is a grown woman. Nothing started till she was a grown woman. However, yes, they are fated to be together. And it's just mm, juicy, juicy, juicy. Just like her mom, she's prone to being kidnapped, but because she grew up with Edward and Bella, she's like skilled in taking care of herself. But 4 times she's been kidnapped so far. 3 of those times she saved herself. I never knew that I needed such a badass female main character FMC like this. Like, she's such a badass. I want to be her when I grow up. It's so good. So yeah, that is what is entertaining me this week. I am deep in Transfusion, and then there's like several other spin-offs to Afterlife that I'm definitely going to dive deep into. So remember, the goal is 115 books this year. We're going to get there because I got like 20 books to read from this whole series after Afterlife. Okay, so don't give up on me. I know I saw you looking at me like, only 23 books, and the goal is 117. We're going to get there. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. So let's talk about this week's 4B Queen of the Week. This week we have two. Two, because I am so hyped, Your Majesty. I am so excited because at first I was like, But as I thought about it, yo, the way I got so hyped and I'm so excited. This week's 4B Queens of the Week. Remember, these are queens who are walking in their purpose and setting an example for what it looks like to go after your goals, to go after your dreams, and to do what you were put on this earth to do. Right? This week, we're looking at both Brandy and Monica and the Boy Is Mine tour. Yes, they're such divas. Yes, 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 yes. Your Majesties, putting aside your differences after all these years to come together and give the world what we've wanted. Can you imagine? I've already picked out my jersey dress and my Timberland boot heels. I'm ready. Okay, I am ready. I am so excited for this tour. There are so many songs that I need to scream off key at the top of my lungs with Brandy, with Monica, and then I need them to come together to do both The Boy Is Mine and It All Belongs to Me. Because remember, they did do It All Belongs to Me back in like what, 2012, 2013. I need it all. I need it all. Not to mention Kelly Rowland. Not to mention Mooney Long. Oh, yeah, yeah. We needed this. We desperately needed this. And I'm so glad that they put their differences aside to give us what we need. Now, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, as soon as y'all are ready to make some money, let us know. Because you know the girls is going to be like, take it. Take it. Can you imagine if Nicki and Cardi came together? The rap game would never be the same. It would never be the same again. Oh, oh, like it would be like a ladies' night. That's what they should call it. The ladies' night tour. Because between the two of them, every night there'll be a new guest, like Queen Latifah one night, and then Debrat, and then like Trina, and then like Meg, and then like Lot. Oh, it would be epic. It would be epic. Cardi, Nicki, come on. Don't wait 30 plus years like Brandy and Monica did. Give the girls what we need, okay? Okay, you could solve world hunger with a tour like that. I swear to God. Swear to God. So proud of you, Brandy and Monica. I will be there in LA. Can't wait. My jersey dress, my Timberland boot heels. Yes, the hair is going to be up in a little nice, cute little 2000s, early 2000s updo. Mm. Yes. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Mm. Awesome. Delicious. Oh, exciting. So let's talk about why we are here this week. Your Majesty, as you know, with doing 75 hard, I have to read 10 pages of a non-fiction slash self-help book every day. And so last week we spoke about Game of Thrones and Think and Grow Rich and Coco Gauff and how all of those are related and how the main premise of Think and Grow Rich is that the secret to success is mind control. Controlling your mind and keeping it focused on positivity as well as your goals in order to achieve your dream life. Okay, perfect. So, right after I finished Think and Grow Rich, I moved on to a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. Psycho-Cybernetics is written by a gentleman who used to be, but still is. He started his career out as a plastic surgeon, and he would notice that some of his clients, when he would take them under the knife and then they would heal, would turn into completely new people and reach crazy levels of success. But then other clients, once he put away his scalpel and they healed, would look in the mirror and not see what he did. One, or two, wouldn't change at all. And he was baffled by this. And so he spent his life trying to figure out what was the difference. Why did some people get plastic surgery and soar, while other people got plastic surgery and just didn't? And he says it all comes down to self image, which got me thinking. And I'm about halfway through the book, about 140 pages in, and I think it's like 330 pages. And there's been so many insightful tenets and theories, and I just wanted to share them with you. So many things that are so simple, just like Think and Grow Rich, but because people have said these things over and over and over again, they seem like a cliche. They seem like they don't work. They seem like a fairy tale. But in reality, they make so much sense. So much sense. For example, a couple years ago, I came across this idea of toxic positivity, right? That the idea of forcing yourself to think positive is in the long run toxic to your mental health. Mm. At the time, I was like, that doesn't exist. What is this? That's craziness. But after reading the first couple of chapters of Psycho-Cybernetics, it makes sense. Follow me here. If you have a negative self image of yourself, if your circumstances or the people in your life have told you a have told you that 4 plus 4 equals 9 your entire life, if you've seen for yourself based off of your experiences in life, your trauma, the way your parents treated you, the way the people who raised you treated you, if all of that comes together and tells you that 4 plus 4 equals 9, then me coming to tell you that actually 4 plus 4 equals 8 won't compute. It won't penetrate. If you have such a strong built up over time belief that 4 plus 4 equals 9, it's going to take a lot more than me telling you, you have to understand that 4 plus 4 is actually 8. You're going to look at me like I'm toxic, like I've got 2 heads, like I'm crazy, like I don't know what I'm talking about, like I'm an alien from outer space or something like that. You feel me? It works the same way. If you have grown up in such circumstances with people around you that have killed your image of who you are, and you believe that who you are is negative, you have such low self esteem, such a negative sense of self worth, then telling you that all you got to do is think positive, it makes sense. It makes so much sense now. And it's also like helping me understand what my goal here in life is, right? Because again, my dreams, my goals, my purpose is threefold: to entertain, to inspire, to end familial homelessness in America, right? And so, how can I inspire you to reach past your struggles for your goals and your dreams when you have such a negative self worth image of yourself? How can I show you that 4 plus 4 is actually 8? Mm, mm. This is why we need to read, folks. This is why we need to read. It makes so much sense now. It makes so much sense. So I have my answer, and I think it's twofold. It's creating content again, because outside of this podcast, I have not been creating any content. My TikTok is looking pretty lonely. I mean, I still have my 30 plus 33,000 followers. Hey, how y'all doing? I film this podcast on TikTok live, so a lot of them come in sometimes to watch what I'm doing. Hey y'all. But for the most part, I haven't posted regularly my 8 times a day, every day, for over a year. Um, but it's time to get back to that, because a lot of the content that I post is reminding you every single day that you are a queen, you are magnificent, you are powerful, you are purposeful. And maybe hearing that once won't penetrate that negative self image, but hearing it over and over and over and over again it may start to set in. And then two, I've been vlogging my 75 hard journey every single day, mostly on Instagram stories. But it's also, I think, imperative for me to catch up on downloading, editing, and posting those on TikTok and on YouTube, because I believe that vlogging this journey of me making these changes, building these positive habits, reading, learning, and building myself up, not only is telling, but it shows you that 4 plus 4 does indeed equal 8. You feel me? So that's where I am. That's what I've gathered so far from that little tidbit, that little piece. However, there are other theories in this book, Psycho-Cybernetics, that have just been blowing my mind. For example, happiness is not something that happens to us. It's not something that we experience. Happiness comes from the inside out. See what I did there? Yes, and that is why the title is what it is. That's why we're discussing said movie. Because, well, let's just get into it. Let's get into it. Inside Out 2. Been out for over a year, so I'm not even gonna say nothing about spoilers. Cause if you haven't seen it, where you been? Where have you been? Right? Okay. A great and perfect example to discuss what I've read in Psycho-Cybernetics. But first, you know what? Let's roll back. Let's discuss what I read in Psycho-Cybernetics. That happiness is not something that happens to you. It's not something that you experience. It's something that you decide. You decide to think positive more often than not. That's it. That's all happiness is. Simple. Real super simple. Something that you can decide to do today, right now. But Queen, what about this? What about that? It don't matter. None of that matters. He spoke about many different examples, right? So for example, Thomas Edison. There was a time where without having insurance, Thomas Edison had an accident in one of his labs and lost everything in a fire. No insurance. And somebody asked him, "What are you going to do now?" And he said, "I'm going to just start rebuilding tomorrow." That was it. He never let the fact that he just lost everything consume him and bring him down. He just kept going, because happiness doesn't come from what happens to you, it comes from inside out. So let's look at the movie Inside Out 2 to discern what this means. In Inside Out 2, we see our girl Riley, right? She is growing up, and with growing up comes growing up emotions. She's hitting puberty. And so now we don't just have the elementary emotions of happiness, sadness, anger. Um, we have new emotions like anxiety, like uh, shyness, embarrassment. And the entire movie is about learning how to navigate these new emotions, right? And her new sense of self worth and self identity based off of these new emotions. Okay, so at first, these new emotions, especially anxiety, take over. Kick joy out, sadness, all the old emotions out, and just completely take over Riley's being and her inner controls, right? And in the end, we learn that, or we see that in order for Riley to grow and be happy and successful in her life with all the different things that come at her, she needs a healthy dose of all of her emotions working together. And even when anxiety does spike, taking a moment to recognize that anxiety and get down, like, and meditate on what it is that brought about that anxiety and work through it in order to release it, which we see at the end when she's in the penalty box taking a nice deep breath, right? And so in the end, we learn that we see all of her emotions coming together and working together, and not one or the other taken over completely, because that is not healthy. It's not healthy at all. But allowing each emotion to have its moment, recognizing it, meditating on it, and working through it, and releasing what doesn't need to be uh, held, right? So the epilogue, scene of the movie shows anxiety spiking over something that happens, and Joy telling her, "Okay, take a deep breath," and asking her questions until she comes back down to normal levels, right? Okay, this is what we need to learn to do every day. This is what we need to train our brains to do every single day. In Psycho-Cybernetics, he said it like this: there are TV shows that we know that are filmed in front of live audiences. And those TV shows have people holding up signs or have electronic signs that tell the audience what to do. So when the producers of the show need the audience to laugh, they'll hold up a sign or flash a sign that says laugh. When the producers need the audience to applaud, they'll hold up a sign or flash a sign that says applause. And that's what the audience does. He said, when we let external factors control how we feel on the inside, we are being controlled the exact same way as the audience. And we are taking a back seat to BS. And I was like, well, wait. As a self-control, as a self as a self-proclaimed control freak. I don't like that. I do not like that. Wait, what do you mean? So when something negative happens on, like if, let's say, I wanted a job and I don't get that job and I get depressed and feel like, oh, I'm not worthy. They didn't want me, so I'm not worthy. I'm letting that situation depress me. I'm letting that situation tell me that I'm not worthy. Something else that he says in Psycho-Cybernetics is that there's a difference between fact and opinion. And too often, we turn opinions into fact when something happens. It's a fact that in this scenario, I didn't get the job, but it's an opinion that I'm not worthy because I didn't get the job. We take it and run with it and turn it into something it's not. Our anxiety person takes it and turns it into something it's not. Our shame or our embarrassment person takes it and turns it into something it's not, something bigger than what it has to be. It simply could just be something that happened to us, and we can decide to keep joy in the driver's seat. We can decide to take a moment to breathe, ask ourselves questions. What is real? What happened? What are the facts? And what are our opinions because of those facts? Are those opinions helpful? Then let them go. Oh, yikes. It's so simple. It can all be so simple and so easy. And yet, I feel like my entire life has been way more complicated than that. I feel like happiness is just deciding to think positive majority of the time. That's it. That's it. It comes from within. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So now I'm looking at myself like, okay, it's time to start training my brain to think positive majority of the time. Now, remember, we're saying majority of the time, most of the time, not all of the time. All of the time is when you start to get toxic. If that's not reality. Life is a series of problems, a series of setbacks, a series of pivots and roadblocks, etc., etc. So that's not going to be all the time. You're going to hit some anxiety, some depression, some shame, some guilt, some negative emotion at some point in your life. So being happy all the time is just not realistic. That's not the goal, though. The goal is to think positive and decide to be happy and think positive most of the time. No matter what happens. Because again, things happening are external factors. And happiness comes from within. So it is our job to train ourselves to start thinking and doing things differently. And so one exercise that he brings up in Psycho-Cybernetics is something that we do every single day. So he says, your shoes. Every single day you put on shoes, right? Because you got to go to work. You got to go to church. You got to go and run errands and things of that nature. Stop today. The next day after you watch this, note which shoe you put on first. Do you put on your right shoe or your left shoe first? Right? And then note how you tie your shoestrings if you're tying shoestrings. Do you cross your right over your left string and wrap it around? Or do you cross your left over your right string and wrap it around? Take note of that. And then for the next 30 days, flip it, make a conscious decision to put your opposite shoe on first and to tie your shoestrings the opposite way. And as you're making that conscious decision, affirm yourself. I am making the conscious decision today to be happy. I am making the conscious decision today to think positive most of the time. I am making the conscious decision today that no matter what happens, I will allow myself to feel whatever feelings come up at the time because those feelings are valid. I will listen to those feelings. I will meditate on those feelings. I will ask myself the question, what is fact and what is opinion? And then I will ask myself, is that opinion helpful? If it's not helpful, if it's not making me feel like the boss ass gorgeous queen that I am, let it go. If it's not productive and helping me continue to be the boss ass gorgeous queen that I am, let it go. Practical, easy. What do you have to lose? Try it. That is your goal for this week, Your Majesty. Not 30 days, just a week. Try it. Try it. The next time you go to put on your shoes, note which shoe you put on first, right or left. And then every day after that, I want you to flip it and put on the opposite shoe first. And while you're putting on that opposite shoe, affirm yourself. Because we're not letting external factors control us anymore. We're not letting things that happen to us control us anymore. We can't control what other people do, what other people say, what other people think, but we can control what we think. And we can decide right here and right now, enough is enough. Yikes. I meditated after reading that chapter, after reading, that chapter of Psycho-Cybernetics. And it was like the world opened up. There are so many possibilities, so many opportunities right here at my fingertips. When I decide, so when I decide so. No one's restricting me or holding me back but me. No one's putting me on a budget but me. The universe ain't got no budget. The universe ain't got no limit. God ain't got no limit. He ain't got no budget. He's here to work with you to make your dreams come true and to bring your dream life into reality. You're the one telling him, well, I know that I don't have the um, credit score to buy a house right now, God. So, you know, but that's what I want. But like, I know that I don't have the money to buy a house right now, but that's what I want. Like, you're the one putting restrictions on yourself. Once you decide to be happy and that you deserve and that you can, anything is possible. Anything at all. And these are things that I've known my whole life, but these books are like, wake up, Jasmine. Wake up, wakey, wakey. Eggs and bakey. It's time. It's time to really and truly believe it and achieve it. I did that just because it rhymes, but really, to really and truly believe it and start living it. It could all be so simple. It is all so simple. Happiness comes from within and is a decision that you make to be positive, to think positive majority of the time. That's it. It's that simple. So your goal, my goal, our goal is to start training our mind to let go and just be happy, no matter what. Yeah. So that is your goal for this week. Your Majesty, take note of your shoes, flip to the other side, and affirm yourself every day this week. All right. And I'm going to ask you next week, how was your week? How did it go? Did you put the opposite shoe on your feet? I'm going to ask you. And you better say yes. Right? Yes, yes, Your Majesty. Okay. So, outside of that one goal, tell me, Queen, what else do you have planned for the week ahead? Go. Ooh, wait. That sounds awesome, Your Majesty. And I cannot wait to speak to you again next week and hear all about how it went and how it goes. I have all the faith in you. I believe in you. I see the queen in you. And so I know that anything you set your mind to, you will achieve. I believe that deep down in my soul and my spirit. So slay on, Your Majesty. I'm excited for you. Can't wait to hear more about it next week. As far as myself, phase one of 75 Hard is 30 days. So next week, I hope to be at day 16. I hope to have a better understanding of the need for these cold showers because I don't want that to be the reason that takes me out of this game. You know, 75 plus 9 is what, 84 days. of working out twice a day, drinking a gallon of water a day, reading 10 pages, taking progress photos, and um, uh, eating on a diet. Like, I've come too far to let a 5 minute cold shower bring it all to an end. So let's stop it before it becomes a problem, and let's learn the reasons why, and choose one and hold on to that one every single time that I do this 5 minute shower every day. And I hope to be next week on either book 6 or book 7. You know what? Let's say book 7 of Transfusion. Let's get to 26 books read. Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Alrighty, yes, those are my goals, Your Majesty. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again, allowing me to inspire and motivate you. I'm so excited to be able to have these conversations with you every week, Your Majesty. Thank you. This is episode 11. I truly enjoy our time together every week. And I hope you'll be here next week again so that I can hear all about how you slayed your goals, Your Majesty. Thank you again. Have a beautiful, amazing, magnificent week. And I'll see you next time. Same place, same time. Alrighty. Bye.